Hello students, welcome to session 4 for the state estimation. Previously we have discussed formation of H matrix, then use of least square estimation to minimize the error component. Afterwards we have solved few numericals. Then after we have used how that can be used in power estimator. That will be a preliminary, considering preliminary case. Now suppose in measurement data we have some bad data, then how we can identify that we have also discussed, and what are the treatments that we have discussed in my session 3. So now in this fourth session we will discuss one another technique which is known as chi-square test for identification of bad data. What is bad data? Suppose some measurement variable shows us value and which is not appropriate due to its accuracy level or due to the uh, uh, error in measurement or instrumental error or maybe anything. So it is better to identify that which instrument is erroneous or which measurement rather is erroneous. By identifying that, we can remove that. In my previous session 2, we have discussed the degree of freedom. What is degree of freedom? Suppose we have m number of measure variable and n number of state variable, then m minus n, that will give us a degree of freedom or say redundancy. The main benefit of degree of freedom is we have higher number of orders than the higher number of equations than required. So we can easily remove that data and calculate our calculation. So this is one of the technique which is known as a chi-square test, which is used for bad data detection. If statistical theory is applied, then this formula we have already derived in my session 3, that capital sigma I is equals to 1 to m. If we have m number of variables, then it should be equals to from measurement 1 to measurement m, and it is a additive sign. So hence it is represented by capital sigma. Capital sigma I is equals to 1 to m zeta I square divided by small sigma I square. What is zeta I square? That is nothing but the error, means measured value minus true value. And what is small sigma square? That is nothing but the standard variation or inverse of weighting matrix. So by both the way, we can easily calculate the value of sigma I square. Over here, f, that will follow the result similar to Gaussian distribution curve. So if we plot this, then that will give us a plot as per the Gaussian probability curve. This method or this formula is represented as a chi-square test. Why it is so? Because this formula over here, it is represented or indicated by this equation. Now this x, it is not given as x, but it is a alphabet, Greek alphabet character word, which is known as a chi, ki. Okay, and due to this, k is nothing over here, small k is nothing but degree of freedom, which is known as m minus n, I have previously mentioned. And alpha represents a area under curve. See, there are basically two area under the curve, one is alpha and one is 1 minus alpha. As we all know that the area under the Gaussian curve, that will be equals to unit. So there are two parts, one is area under curve, which is known as alpha. So ultimately rest of the part of that curve, that will be area of 1 minus alpha. So here 1 minus alpha indicates the level of confidence or level of accuracy by which we can come to know that whether this data is erroneous or accurate. This is chi-square distribution curve. Over here, as I mentioned earlier, it has two parts. One is area 1 minus alpha, and this will be the area of alpha. So if value lies in this area, then we can term that the measurement is quite accurate and no need to eliminate that data. But if measurement lies in this dark area, it means that there is a erroneous data and we remove that area. So how we can identify individual data, that is a matter of concern. So by total term, we can easily identify whether bad data is there or not. But now the second trajectory is we want to identify which a data will be a bad data. So Over here in chi-square distribution curve, we have two portions. One, when the performance index f less than chi-square, and one is greater than chi-square. So if it is less than chi-square, then it is lie under the area 1 minus alpha. So we can easily say that there is a no bad data. But if performance index lies f greater than or area of a alpha, then we can say that that will be a erroneous data. So over here, the level of performance index or chi-square, that will be defined based on two things. One is k. K stands for degree of freedom. And what is alpha? Alpha, that will be the selection based on the performance of measurement devices or instruments. So if we know the value of alpha and k, then the value of chi-square is known to us. By mathematical formula, as we discussed previously, it is capital sigma I is equals to 1 to m zeta square divided by small sigma square, from which, from that formula we can derive a performance index f. Now we have to compare these two. If f less than chi square, then it will be the lies under the area of 1 minus alpha. If it is greater than, it will be lie under the area of alpha. See over here, the higher side or right hand side, that will be represented by area alpha, while left hand side, that will be represented by area 1 minus alpha. So over here, that will be a two parts. So over here, to be more specific, we will come to know that if f lies in an area of 1 minus alpha, then we can conclude that there will be a no bad data. So it is always beneficial that if the value of f lies in area 1 minus alpha rather than alpha. Hence, we don't have any bad data and it is not required to eliminate any bad data. Now this is some values by which we can find out the value of chi-square distribution. See, suppose this is the value of k. Over here we have considered the value of k up to 20, and these are the different value of alpha: 0.05, 0.025, 0.01 and 0.005. Now consider a case when we have value of k is equals to 3, okay, and the value of alpha say equals to 0.01. So degree of freedom for that particular network is equals to 3. Hence, the value of k is equals to 3 and alpha is equals to say 0.01. So over there, the value of chi square, that will be termed as 11.35. So by observing this table, we will come to know the value of chi square distribution. Suppose say now, if the k is equals to 7 and say a is equals to alpha is equals to 0.05, then 14.07, that will be the value of chi square. So this performance index we can calculate by using that mathematical formula, but by using this table we will come to know that from the network installation we will come to know the network formation, we will come to know the degree of freedom say k and alpha. So by this way we will come to know what will the value of chi square. After comparing these two, we will clearly indicate that whether bad data is included or not. So the procedure to identify bad data is, first we have to calculate the value of x, that is nothing but our state variables, by using the first formula which we have discussed, that is G inverse H transpose W into Z. After computing Z, we can easily determine the value of zeta, that is error, by using Z measure minus Z calculated or true value Hx. Then after we will get Zi for each instrument we have to measure, and followed by we have to determine the estimated performance index function using sigma is equals to 1 to m zeta I square divided by sigma I square. Then after we have to need to compare if it is lie in the area 1 minus alpha, need not to do any further calculation, but if it lies in the area of alpha, it means that there is a possibility of bad data in measured raw data. So we have to take the precautions. Once again, in another relation which we have discussed in my session 3, that zeta I divided by under root of covariance, this is known as a covariance under root of Ri square. By performing this, once again we will compute the value, and from that value we can easily estimate the value of K. Or other way, we can easily find out performance index for a individual meters, and the highest value which is shown by that meter, we will remove that thing and will proceed that if the degree of freedom will be larger, then we'll proceed with the rest of measurement, and once again we'll calculate the value of state variables x1, x2, and so on. So both these approaches are going to discuss. Let's discuss. See, during when I was student, I have come to understand the concept while performing or while calculating the numericals. Hence, once you go through the numericals, then entire concept will be easy to understand. So if you observe that in most of my topics, initially I have discussed some theory followed by few numericals, and numericals are essential because they will gives you the clear concept. So let's discuss one numericals over here. We have two state variables v1 and v2. We have five measurements z1 to z5. Out of that five, z1, z2, and z3 are ammeters, whereas z4 and z3 they are voltmeters. See, this discuss we have this circuit we have already discussed in numericals 1 while we are discussing LSW, least square estimation technique. So now over here, by calculating using matrix laboratory, MATLAB, over here Zx can be calculated at h into x. So this Zx can be calculated. Now EH, that is nothing but the error, that will be also calculated. And this will is nothing but our zeta component. So now if we calculate the performance index, it is should be equals to 29.6642. So the value of our performance index, considering all five measurements and the value of x based on that, we will get that is 29.6642. Now we have to compare that thing with the table which will give us a value of chi-square estimation. So over here we have degree of freedom. By visualizing this, we have degree of freedom. We have m is equals to 5, n is equals to 2. So degree of freedom is equals to 3. Over here, it is clearly mentioned that you have to take alpha is equals to 0.01. So by using that table, if we calculate, then k is equals to 3 and alpha is equals to 0.01. So the value of that chi-square should be 11.35. So hence we can say that the calculated value 29.6642 is greater than this. It seems that there is an inclusion of bad data. So how we can remove this? So simple. Over here individual error component can be calculated. So over here EH1, that is nothing but the error of offered by meter 1 divided by sigma covariance. So by this way we can find out the estimated standard error. See, this is estimated standard error. Okay, that's why it is defined by or divided by a root of covariance. So by for each and every instrument, if we follow this process, then at every instrument we have some value of estimated error, and this is standardized. So it means that each and every scale, whether it is a full scale deflection is changing, but standardized error, it means that this is the error which is already standardized. Okay, so that component of scale variation can be also minimized or can be removed. So hence we will come to know that error 1 is equals to minus 0060. Over here this value is the highest one, which is component of fourth variable. So now over here we have come to know that the standard estimated error uh, of component 4 is higher. So now we will remove our measurement 4 and once again recalculate the value of x1 and x2 based on rest of the component. See, previously we have m is equals to 5. Now after removing m4, meter 4, we have 4 components. Okay, so now k will be changed. Now k is equals to 2 minus 2, that is 2. 4 minus 2, that is 2. And rest of the component over here, we can easily derive that h is already formed by considering only 4 components. Okay, because z4 is already removed. Okay, we have rejected the data related to z4. So now we have only 4 measurement components or measurement devices. So measure variables are 4. Hence, we have 4 cross 2 matrix because size of H, that is M cross X. Now we can calculate value of R, that is also there. So this is nothing but 1 by weighting matrix. So R can be easily computed. Weighting matrix, that will be nothing but the diagonal element, and value of weighting matrix is already given. First two are 100%, rest of all they are 75%. So we need to substitute the value in diagonal component, and we can easily form the weighting matrix. So diagonal components of weighting matrix are first two 100, and third and fifth we are skipping fourth one. So hence it should be 4 cross 4 matrix, where first two is 100 diagonal components and second two are 75 and 75 each. Now gain matrix can be calculated as H transpose W into H. So gain matrix, that will be a 2 cross 2 after elimination of Z4. Now from that we can easily calculate the value of X by using G inverse H transpose W into Z. So this is our Z. We have already removed the fourth measurement, and now we can recalculate the value of XX, and these are the two values. Now X is known to us, X into H is also known to us. So we can easily calculate the true value. This is our true value. Now error, that will be also calculated. And now if we recalculate that, then once again our value of FH is equals to 12.550. So once again K is equals to 2 now. Previously it was K is equals to 3 and alpha is equals to 0.01. If we consider this, then our performance should greater than critical value 9.21. So over here the critical value is 9.21. It means that still our performance index is larger than 9.21. So still we have to remove one bad data which is already there. So once again we have to repeat that procedure, and once again we have to identify the standard estimated error by removing one of the component or the component which has a higher standard estimated error. We can recalculate this, and once again we can find out and determine after removing that error component, we can identify as well as eliminate the bad data. One more numericals I would like to discuss. Over here we have four components, two ammeters and two voltmeters. So M is equals to 4, and the value for measure variable Z1 is equals to 9.01 ampere, Z2 is equals to 3.02 ampere, Z3 is equals to 6.98 volt, and Z4 is equals to 5.01 volt. The weighting factor for all the instrument 1, 2, 3, 4, for 1, 2 it is 100% and 3, 4 it is 50%. There are two state variables V1 and V2. So over here M is equals to 4 and N number of state variables equals to 2. So now let us start our calculation. That over here H, formation of H matrix is already we have formed in previously discussed numericals. H transpose is nothing but the transpose of this matrix. So after that we can easily derive the value of R inverse. Only diagonal elements are required. So they are only considered and they are only calculated. Rest of the components are ignored. Now sum of that elements we have discussed that it is equals to K. So R dash divided by standard deviation square, and addition of all this, they are nothing but the degree of freedom. Hence we will come to know over here the degree of freedom is equals to 2. Okay. Now let's moving further, that take alpha is equals to 0.01 and K is equals to 2. The value of chi square from the table form, it is 9.21. Now we have to calculate the value of performance index. So value of performance index over here, J is equals to 1 to M. M is equals to 4. Hence we have to calculate this error, and this is standard deviation. So over here, instead of square of standard deviation, we have substitute the value of W. So over here W1 and W2 is 100 and W3 and W4 it is 50. So it is 100 into E1 square, 100 into E2 square plus 100 into 50 into E3 square plus 50 into E4 square. If we substitute the value of E1, E2, E3 and E4, we will get the value of 0.043507. So obviously it is less than 9.21. So with the accuracy of 100 minus 0.01, which is the value of alpha, we can say that there is no bad data in this measurement. Okay. So now let's consider that if suppose we have bad data, for that we have considered that Z4. Now we have altered the value of Z4. Previously it was 5.01. Now take it 4.04. Now let's repeat that value. The number of measure variable and number of state variables remains same. So the value of alpha as well as k remains same. Hence the value of chi square, that is also remains same, and that is equals to 9.21. Once again, we'll identify the value of error. That will give us the value of 15.1009, which is higher than the value of 9.21. It means that the chi-square estimation remains accurate. If we change any value of measure variable beyond certain level, then the value of performance index will attain larger value than the data or then the table which shown the value of chi-square. Hence, in this case, PF, that is nothing but the probability of performance index or performance index attains value greater than chi-square. This indicates the presence of bad data. So over here, by these three numericals, we can easily understand the chi-square estimation and its implementation to identify this bad data. Okay, so hope all of you will understand. Now if we consider individual error, then we can also find out the highest element if we want to remove, or using previous data this value is larger. So what else we'll do, we want to remove the value bad data. So over here once again the individual standardized error that will be calculated. Over here we have come to know that this value is the highest. See, this value is 3.5144, whereas this is 3.08. So measurement variable 4 is indicated as the vulnerable one. Okay, hence that measurement is removed. If you remove, if you think, or if you remember, uh, the value of Z4 in the first example we have considered as 5.01. Now we have considered 4.4 to test the chi-square estimation value. So over here it directly indicates that there is a, due to that change in value of Z4, this standardized error attains higher value. Hence, if we consider or remove that and considering only three variables, then we can eliminate the bad data. So over here, once again, considering three matrix, this will be m cross n. So this will be 3 cross 2. Now we have already removed fourth measurement variable. So now we have m is equals to 3 and x is equals to 2. So matrix size of H, it is m cross n. So it is 3 cross 2. Now H transpose R inverse, that will be also calculated. Gain matrix is calculated, and once again if we calculate the value of state variables, now it will attain some different value. This is 16.0074 and 8.0265. After recalculating the value of x, once again we calculate the value of error. This will be the three value we will come to know about the estimated value or calculated value or true value, and these are the values for error. If we calculate this, now we will come to know that satisfy that measurement variable. Now it is equals to 0.0435. This will satisfy our condition, and this indicates that there is no bad data. Student, I would like to tell that now in next time we will discuss the state estimation or state estimator in power system. For that, do read Newton-Raphson method, because over here we are going to use that Newton-Raphson method to solve out few numericals, and how redundancy is calculated, because over here we have many number of variables, as well as we want over here state variables are not two. Even over here we have many state variables, and every bus, suppose we have two state variables, then they are voltage and delta. So previously at every node we have only one state variables, and that is voltage. So far we have discussed the numericals which has only one state variable in terms of voltage, and x1 and x2 it is in terms of a source voltage. But now if we consider in power system, we have two state variables, angle as well as this voltage magnitude. So both will be calculated. How we'll proceed further, that we will discuss in our session 5. So thank you so much. If you do have any doubts, you can do ask. And chi-square estimation technique, it is better to go through a numericals. If you go through 1-2 numericals, then it will be very easy to understand. So thank you so much. Stay safe and take care.